Hello students, we are going to cover the last topic which is environmental pollution for environmental geography. That's the last chapter, unit 4. In this we are going to talk about concept of pollution, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. This is a very easy chapter which you all are well aware of. You all have learnt it time and again in your junior classes. What relevance and importance does pollution have in our environment as well as in our lives, and the hazards which it can create. Now, what is pollution? Pollution is the introduction of contaminants into a natural environment that causes instability, disorder, harm, or discomfort to the ecosystem. Pollution can take the form of chemical substances or energy such as noise, heat, or light. Now, when we talk about pollution, we mean pollution basically it is any discharge of material or energy into water, land, or air that causes or may cause acute short-term or chronic long-term detriment to the Earth's ecological balance that lowers the quality of life. It can be anything. Pollution can be anything. It damages the ecosystem, destroys the balance of the ecosystem, and in a way it creates the health hazards to human beings and animals besides damaging the ecosystem. So this is what we are going to talk about, pollution. Now, environmental pollution, it usually occurs as a result of energy conversions and the use of resources which leaves their byproducts behind in water, soil, or air. When we talk about pollution, we are talking about we are introducing, or it's the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse changes. Pollution, students, it can take the form of chemical substances or energy such as noise, heat, or light. The components of pollution can be foreign substances or naturally occurring contaminants. So this is what pollution basically means. Before I come to air pollution, let us understand what are the causes of pollution. Now we know that pollution basically is the contamination into the natural environment that causes adverse changes. The addictive substances these addictive substances can be in the form of solid, liquid, or gases. This leads to poisoning of the medium, making it unfit to be used. Now we are going to try and understand the causes of pollution. Burning of fossil fuels. These are the normal causes of pollution. The wood, coal, petroleum, and natural gas are burned in large quantities to produce energy for electricity. We are well aware of that. Mobilization, transport, and as a basic fuel for household needs. All these fossil fuels are used for our needs and wants, whether it's mobilization, movement, transportation, electricity, power supply, what we receive. This is burning through fossil fuels. And coal also, wood, petroleum, they play a very important role. This is by far the most important factor causing pollution. This alone has led to in search of more environmental friendly resources. So because of this, we have trying to research about the other alternative sources of energy. Then second we know about is industrialization, rapid growth of industries, where the needs of goods, the growth of economy, job creation, production, machinery to do in a less time is guided by the factors of industry. And there was a great industrial revolution from the 18th to 19th century, which was very big. So keeping that in mind, industries now are into manufacturing. We have heavy industries, small industries, medium scale industries, and very small industries, cottage industries. and plastic and textile factories, dyeing plants that bloomed during the Industrial Revolution. So this also, we deal with so much chemicals which come out in the form of smoke. Fossil fuels are used and their waste products are released into the surroundings in air, water and land. Then the third cause of pollution, if I talk about the third cause of pollution, is transportation. Transportation basically is the backbone, whether it's any medium of transport, air, rail, road, water. It is a medium of every economy. It is a backbone of every economy. So these run on what? They don't run on water. They run on fuel. And the fuel what we get is through petroleum, coal, gas, all of that. So at no point of time do we see any reduction in the number of vehicles on roads. Now, because of the increasing population, transportation has also increased. Infrastructure of towns and cities. When I talk about infrastructure of towns and cities, I am talking about urbanization. In towns and cities where a large number of people stay, there is always scope for contaminating the environment. You are seeing littering, different types of water wastage. So there are water treatment plants to arrange the water cycle. There are garbage disposals. There's sewage treatment plants which are essential to maintain a good balance in city life. The sixth point of cause of pollution is agricultural practices. Now, population growing as transportation is increasing, the want for food is also there. So when you want to consume, you want to cultivate a lot of crops, and over a period of time, watermelons, for example, they weren't available throughout the year. It is a summer fruit. But today, if you see, it's available throughout the year. Why is it so? There's something which is working really against nature. Because of that, we are getting watermelons. So it is basically too much of insecticides, ripening agents are used, pesticides, weedicides, fertilizers are sprayed on farms to increase the yield. Yield is the production. All these chemicals are not used up, but they are carried away. Now these chemicals are either taken away by the soil, which gets again it merges with the water, or it blows in the wind and it pollutes the adjoining areas, land and water bodies. Then the seventh cause of pollution is radioactive waste. When we talk about radioactive waste, this is a very important factor in causing pollution because of the sheer increase of the nuclear plants. Now, to keep it less, wherein the dependency on fossil fuels is concerned, we now turn to nuclear energy, calling it clean. But because of this, there is radioactive waste that is produced and it is difficult to dispose of. Unnecessary, excessive use of diagnostic X-rays is also a form of pollution. Now, students, for small things also, we have to go to a pathological clinic and we get our X-rays done. So this is radioactive waste. In this, when we talk about pollution, we are talking about certain pollutants. So what are pollutants? They are defined as physical, chemical or biological substance unintentionally released into the environment which can be directly or indirectly harmful to humans and other living beings. So this is in short what pollution is all about, the causes of pollution. Now let's go to the other types of pollution. The first one we are talking about is air pollution. When I talk about air pollution, what does this mean? Air pollution is related to the blanket of air is called the atmosphere. So in air, what happens? Air pollution is the introduction of chemicals, particulate matter or biological materials that cause harm or discomfort to humans or other living organisms or damages the natural environment into the atmosphere. Now, when I talk about the causes, basically air pollution, what did it mean actually? It is a mixture of solid particles and gases in the air. Suppose there are car emissions, the chemicals from factories, the dust, the pollen, they get suspended as particles. And ozone gas is the major part of air pollution in city. So when ozone forms air pollution, it's called smog. This is how it works. When ozone forms air pollution, it is called smog. Now, people who have heart and lung diseases or elder children, this older adults and children are at great risk from air pollution. Actually, air pollution is just not outside. The air inside the building also gets affected and affects your health, or within your house, inside your house also gets affected. Now, what are the causes of air pollution basically? Industries, we know industries leave out the smoke. Through smoke, this spreads out in the wind. There is through sewage, it gets into the water or land. Automobiles and domestic fuels, we all know that car emissions, fire, high proportion of undesirable gases such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. Now, indoor air pollution can be like what we use wood and kerosene in our kitchens as fuels. They use coal, kerosene. Complete combustion of fuel produces carbon dioxide, which may be toxic. Now, in villages, if you all see, they use dung cakes and kerosene in their kitchens. Now, incomplete combustion, what happens in that? It produces the toxic gas carbon monoxide. So, all of this is also very harmful. When, if you see in a village, a housewife in a village over there, she uses wood as fuel for cooking. In turn, what she does is she's inhaling 20 packets of cigarette a day. That's what is said about it. So this is one indoor air pollution what I spoke about. Then what are the man-made sources? Like man-made, when we talk about, this could be agricultural activities, industrial units, we know, vehicular emissions. We don't do carpooling to protect it. Then the thermal power plants have become the major source for generating industry in India as a power nuclear plant. So they emit what? Sulfur dioxide. So these two gases, sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide, is not a good, it's an undesirable gas which causes air pollution. What are the effects? It has effects on human health. The lungs get affected, the animals get affected, the plants, the quality of crop or the yield which is derived is not good. Acid rain we are well aware of. So the atmosphere as a whole gets affected and there is acid rain. How do we prevent air pollution? As car emissions are there, if two people from the same area are going to a particular place, you can go in through carpooling. This is something which is very in European countries. Walk or ride a bicycle, again in places like Holland, Belgium or Netherlands, it's called the cycle country or cycle state or cycle city in the world. Then you connect your outdoor lights to a timer or use solar lighting. Wash clothes with warm or cold water instead of hot water. Now, using of washing machines also, somewhere, what you're doing is actually you are causing pollution itself. And main thing, how do you prevent it, is through planting trees. When you say planting trees, it is always through afforestation. Then sitting of industries. When we talk of sitting of industries, that is after you've done proper environmental assessment studies. Use of sulfur and nitrogen. Now, using sulfur coal in industries. This is something which is very important nowadays. Using low sulfur coal in industries. Removing sulfur from coal by washing it with the help of bacteria. Removing nitrogen during the combustion process helps as a remedial measure for air pollution. Then planting trees, that is basically planting more trees is like you're getting oxygen to this planet. Use of non-conventional energy source that can control air pollution. Next is water pollution. Now what is water pollution? Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, example lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers and groundwater. Water pollution occurs when pollutants are directly or indirectly discharged into water bodies without adequate treatment to remove harmful compounds. When I talk about water pollution, before I come to causes, let's understand what is it telling us. Water, we know, is a basis of life. It is a fundamental for human existence and to maintain the ecological balance for the future of our planet. Now, a large amount of water is discharged back after domestic and industrial usage. This gets contaminated with the domestic waste and industrial effluents, industrial waste. Industrial effluents means industrial waste. When this contamination reaches beyond certain allowed concentrations, it is called pollution. And the contaminants, all what is available in that is called the pollutants. So basically it can be said that it is contamination of all the water bodies on earth, whether it's streams, lakes, rivers, oceans, through substances which are harmful for living beings. Nowadays, water pollution is emerging a threat to all mankind because the water quality is related to the pollution. Water quality refers here, when we talk about the quality of water, it refers to the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of water. Water is something which is indispensable for our life. Students, water is the basis of our life. It is indispensable for our life. Water is said to be polluted. When is water said to be polluted? When it is not suitable for drinking. It actually affects man's activity. It cannot, they cannot use it for domestic purpose. There is shortage in agriculture because of that. Then soil erosion, digging of minerals, decaying of organic matter, all of that. So we all know what is water pollution now. Now the causes of water pollution. Causes of water pollution is marine dumping, industrial waste, again all that waste which through sewage plants gets into water. Sewage which mainly is from households, from our bathrooms, from our kitchens, all that is connected through the drainage system and gets into, causes water pollution. As we said that nuclear energy, we think it's clean energy nowadays, but actually nuclear waste also causes pollution. Oil spills or oil pollution. Oil spills, somewhere oil has spilled. Now if that gets into water, that's the most difficult part, to remove oil out of water. It's not possible. Then there are underground storage leaks. Now if there are underground storage leaks, that also cause water pollution. Domestic and municipal pollutants, we all know. Now what are the various diseases what can happen? We can get typhoid, cholera, gastroenteritis, dysentery, which can be caused by drinking infected water. Because they cause a number of diseases, they cause polio, viral hepatitis and maybe cancer also to a certain extent. And they are responsible for deoxygenation of water bodies, which are harmful for aquatic life. So industrial pollutants, I have already said that there are some organic and inorganic wastes like acids, chlorides, alkalis which get into this. Now river Ganga receives waste from textile, sugar, paper and pulp mills, rubber and pesticide industry. So is it going to remain non-polluted? It's going to be polluted. So all that also counts. Agricultural waste also, as I said, manure, fertilizers from farms, slaughterhouses, poultry farms are drained as runoff from agricultural lands. The water body which receives large quantities of fertilizers and manures leads to eutrophication and consequent depletion of dissolved oxygen. Then there are pesticides which are well known. Common one is DDT, that is sprayed. Now for example, the concentration of DDT in river water may be low, but some fish over a period of time accumulate so much of DDT that they become unfit for human consumption. We say fish is beneficial for human consumption, but how do we know which kind of fish is consume this kind of pesticides, that is DDT. So it's in a way unfit for us. The use of pesticides in our country is increasing very rapidly because of the demand. Physical pollutants, that can be radioactive waste, thermal sources, and sediments of petroleum products. Now we know petroleum products are widely used as fuel for lubrication, plastic manufacturing, and happen to be poisonous in nature. There are certain accidents. Now, what are these accidents? The oil spills, oil refineries, oil exploration, and automobile service centers pollute different water bodies. Now, the oil layer or the oil silk, students, which floats on the water surface, it causes death of marine life and it affects the ecosystem. Once the oil slick gets into these oceans or seas or water bodies, it can only cause death and harm to the marine life or which is there in these water bodies. Then sediments. Now these soil particles, sometimes they carry this sediments to some streams, lakes, and oceans. Now these sediments have polluting agents in them, and soil. Now you can say that soil erosion is defined as a soil carried by flood water from cropland, which leads to sedimentation. So in a way that is also damaging the water bodies. The radioactive waste, as I said. Now, what are the effects? As I said, on health, we know different diseases like cholera, malaria, typhoid spread during rainy season, and aquatic life gets destroyed. Now, if I talk about on environment, biomass and diversity of communities are to be expected when large amount of toxic materials release into streams, lakes, and ocean. Much of the aquatic pollution, students, this is a very natural thing. Much of the aquatic pollution which takes place is through the industrial waste, the sewage in our domestic households, all of that, which need to be altered for the aquatic community. Now, on health, as I said, there are certain diseases which carry bacteria and viruses into the surface on the groundwater. So over here, what happens with this? Drinking water also gets affected and health hazards are resulted. Because now, as we are told that drink 3 liters or 4 liters of water, if it is not used, it is not of any use for consumption of drinking, it's very difficult. We are going to get diseases if we drink less water. Now, toxic compounds are also there. The other effects, apart from human health and environment, is toxic compounds it can have. So, pollutants such as the heavy metals, the cyanides, and other inorganic compounds also can cause a harm to the aquatic organisms. Pathogens, when we talk about pathogens, the sewage system contains pathogenic diseases. Same as I said, malaria, typhoid, and cholera, jaundice are basically spread by water contamination and sewage. Water pollution solutions. Now, what do you do? Water, turn off running water. Turn off running water. Fertilize correctly. Organize or participate in cleanup. Join a special society devoted to prevention of water pollution. Now, there are some more solutions which we can think of. Measures to control water pollution. Water treatment. Wastewater can be treated by primary, secondary, and tertiary treatment. When the wastewater is to be dumped off into river or flowing stream, the treatment is carried out by sedimentation, filtration, and coagulation. This is known as primary treatment. The water after primary treatment is not fit for drinking, so it has to go further treatment, go under further treatment. This is done through secondary or biological treatment. So it will go one step ahead, and that is biological treatment. A commonly used method is to allow polluted water to spread over a large bed of stones and gravels so that the growth of different microorganisms needing nutrients and oxygen is encouraged. Over a period of time, fast moving food chain is set up. Example, you see bacteria consumes organic matter from the polluted water. Protozoa live on bacteria. So every form of life, including algae and fungi, help in cleaning up of the process. Now the last treatment, that is the tertiary treatment, is actually disinfecting water. Here what happens, chlorine is the most commonly used disinfectant for killing bacteria. Chlorine also, in a way, students, reacts with the traces of organic matter present in water and forms undesirable chlorinated hydrocarbons. It is therefore to reduce the organic matter in water before passing chlorine gas. Then other methods of disinfection can be ultraviolet radiation, ozone gas treatment, or reverse osmosis, which are preferred over chlorine treatment. Now legislative or legal treatment is something which legally you go the legal way. It is important to utilize good quality and polluted water. The quality criteria may be depending upon the use the individual efforts to pay in this regard. You need to have that within you, that you need to protect, you need to conserve water. You have to work towards small actions of yours can also help. Now there are different acts which came under picture, that was Prevention and Control of Water Pollution in 1974, which helped in prevention of water pollution. General standards of water pollution for discharge in water bodies on standards specific for each type of industry land was what is given. Then integrated pest management, adopting integrated pest management to reduce reliance on pesticides, use of nitrogen fixing plants to supplement the use of fertilizers, separate drainage of sewage and rainwater. This is rainwater harvesting also. Separate drainage of sewage should be provided to prevent overall overflow of sewage with rainwater. Planting trees, afforestation would reduce pollution. Planting trees would reduce pollution by sediments and will also prevent soil erosion. So for controlling water pollution from point sources, treatment of wastewaters is essential. Pesticides and fertilizers, easy to reduce water pollution from point source by legislation. Judicious use of chemicals like pesticides and fertilizers should be used so that it reduces the surface runoff and leaching. So these are the solutions for water pollution. Coming to soil. Now when I talk about soil, what is soil pollution? Soil is the thin layer of organic and inorganic materials that covers the earth's rocky surface. Soil is composed of particles of broken rock that have been altered by chemical and mechanical processes that include weathering and erosion. So basically soil is what it is, the soil contamination or soil pollution. When we talk about it, is a part of land degradation which is caused by the chemicals which have been used through and harmed to the soil environment. It is typically caused by industrial activity, agricultural chemicals, or improper disposal of waste. Soil pollution, it is defined as buildup in soils of persistent toxic compounds, chemicals, salts, radioactive materials, or disease-causing agents which have adverse effects on plant growth and animal health. Soil pollution is also caused by means other than the direct addition of xenobiotic man-made chemicals such as industrial waste, acidic precipitates, and radioactive fallout. What are the causes of soil pollution? Seepage from a landfill, discharge of industrial waste into the soil, percolation of contaminated water into the soil, rupture of underground storage tanks, excess application of pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers, solid waste seepage, deforestation, and soil erosion. Let's talk about it, a few of those in detail. Now, when we talk about pesticides, what are pesticides here? They are synthetic toxic chemicals that definitely kill different types of pests and insects, which cause damage to agriculture, but it has ecological repercussions, students. They are pesticides. They are means pesticides. They are generally insoluble in water and non-biodegradable. Therefore, these chemicals will not gradually decompose and they keep on accumulating in the soil. The concentration of these chemicals will increase when the transfer of these chemicals takes place from lower to higher trophic level via the food chain. Hence, it will cause many metabolic and psychological disorders in humans. Then when we talk about chlorinated organic toxins, this is also one of the causes of soil pollution. The harmful effect of DDT, we know in fishes when they consume that. Now here, the harmful effect of DDT and other chemicals lead to the introduction of less persistent organic and more biodegradable substances such as scarbates and organophosphates. They act as harmful toxins for nerves, which can be dangerous to human. When I talk about herbicides as a cause of soil pollution, what are herbicides? They can decompose in a span of few months, even affect the environment, and they are not environment friendly. They cause bird defects. When you spray herbicides, it causes more insect attack and diseases of plants in comparison to manual weeding. They actually contribute a small portion as a cause, but majority of the causes when we talk about herbicides is related to manufacturing activities in chemical and industrial processes that are released in nature. Inorganic fertilizers. When you use excessive inorganic nitrogen fertilizers, they contaminate the agricultural soil, which is known as agrochemical pollution. What is the cause of the next cause of soil pollution is industrial pollution. We are well aware of this. The incorrect way of chemical disposal from the industries can cause contamination of soil. So this can be due to the disposal of industrial waste, heavy materials, toxic chemicals, and dumping of oil and fuel. Next is inferior irrigation practices. Now, when we talk about inferior irrigation practices, poor irrigation methods which increase the soil salinity, excess watering, improper maintenance of canals and irrigation channels, lack of crop rotation, and intensive farming decreases the quality of soil over time, and it decreases or it leads to degradation of land. The next is cause of soil pollution could be solid waste seepage. What happens here? Disposal of plastics, cans, and other solid waste fall into this category. Disposal of electric goods such as batteries have an adverse effect on soil due to the presence of harmful chemicals. Now, if you see when you are walking, there's littering. Some people litter on the road. So, without any knowledge or having that knowledge, and due to some reason, they throw these plastic bags in places which get deeply embedded under soil. Now, plastic does not die for million years. Okay, so it is actually causing a lot of harm than good. The last one as a cause of soil pollution is urban activities. Lack of proper waste disposal, regular constructions can cause excessive. And you all see certain buildings are going for redevelopment. Now, when you go for redevelopment, there's going to be a lot of digging and excessive damage which can be caused due to the lack of proper drainage and surface runoff. These waste disposed of humans contain chemical waste from residential areas. Now, the waste which is removed from residential areas also is an urban activity which is a cause of soil pollution. Leaking of sewage system. This is a common problem. Leakage of sewage system can affect the soil quality by changing. It can cause soil pollution by changing the chemical composition of the soil. Excess application, as I said, of pesticides. Look at these pictures, you will understand. See this is a very common thing what you all have seen, where disposal of plastics and polythene waste are just lying around in certain areas. We have to be mindful. We need to have awareness how we get back to nature. It's our time to give back to nature, as nature has provided us a lot in abundance. The most common chemicals involved in causing soil pollution, whatever we discussed now, was hydrocarbons, petroleum, heavy metals, pesticides, and solvents. Now, before we go to this, what are the effects also? It changes the properties of soil. Various types of chemicals like acids, pesticides, insecticides, heavy metals affect soil fertility. So, it affects the flora and fauna on soil. Some of the chemicals whatever are there, they affect the flora and fauna in some way. They are affecting human health. They are the cause of diseases. The effects of soil pollution leads to diseases. Sewage has many types of pathogen bacteria and viruses and intestinal worms which can cause various type of diseases. Cause of abnormalities. Now, radioactive fallout on vegetation is the source of radioisotopes which enter into food chain in the grazing animals. Some of these through pesticides you are seeing when the animals are grazing and when they are grazing on lands. Some of these radioisotopes replace essential elements in the body and cause abnormalities. So these get deposited into bones and tissues and it can become prone to fracture. The last effect of soil pollution is eutrophication. Radioisotopes which attach with the clay become a source of radiation in the environment. Nitrogen and phosphorus in turn from the fertilizers in land reach nearby water bodies and they cause eutrophication. What are the types of soil pollution? Pollution of surface soil, pollution of underground soil by industrial effluents and solid waste, pollution of surface soil, disturbance in soil profile. Pollution due to urban activities, we've discussed pollution of underground soil. Agricultural soil pollution, plants on which we depend for food are under attack from insects, bacteria, virus, rodents and must compete with weeds for nutrients. To kill unwanted pollution populations living in or in their crops, farmers use pesticides. So these pesticides used on pests may be absorbed by soil particles and they contaminate the root, the basic root structure of crops which grow in that soil. Now, when you consume such crops which have been prone to pesticides and they enter our biological system, they affect us adversely. What are the agricultural effects? Reduced soil fertility, reduced nitrogen fixation, increased erodibility, large loss of soil and nutrients, deposition of silt in tanks, reduced crop yield, crop production, imbalance in soil and fauna. Look at the agricultural effects. What happens? Industrial soil pollution, we've discussed this, sewage and all of that. Large quantity of solid waste like unused and rejected chemicals. sludge, press mud, sawdust, bottles, plastic materials, unwanted industrial waste generating using manufacturing processes. You've seen thumbs up cans. We have so many varieties of things, cans and tins which are used, plastic which is used. They all get dumped on the surface of soil by almost all industries with difference in degree. Larger the production, larger the generation of waste. Traditionally, these materials have been dumped around the factory site or around the entire city. Look at this. This is what I was talking about. Look at this, how it gets directly into the water or the water bodies, the industrial waste through the sewage system. Now, what are the effects of this? Dangerous chemicals which enter underground water, ecological imbalance, release of pollutant gases, and increased salinity. What are the industrial effects when these animals are grazing around on this? How does it affect? Soil pollution due to urbanization, as I said, settlements, constructions. Urban activities generate large quantities of city waste, including several biodegradable materials like vegetables, animal waste, papers, wooden pieces, plant twigs, cloth waste. All of that, we put them in the dustbin as waste. Bags, tins, bottles, all of those go into waste. On a rough estimate, Indian cities are producing solid city waste to the tune of 50,000 to 80,000 metric tons every day. If left uncollected and decomposed, they cause several problems. What are the urbanization effects, students? Clogging of drains, inundation of areas, public health problems, pollution of drinking water sources. There is foul smell which releases gases also in their smell coming out from the sewage plants or the drainage system. There are waste management problems. Look at the urbanization effect. What happens? Some more effects of soil pollution. Pollution runs off into rivers and kills the fish, plants, and other aquatic life. Crops and fodder grown on polluted soil may pass the pollutants on to the consumers. Polluted soil may no longer grow crops and fodder. Fodder is food, animal food. Soil structure is damaged. Corrosion, foundations, and pipelines. It may release vapors and hydrocarbons. It may create toxic dust. It may poison children playing in the area. Some more effects of soil pollution. Methods to control: reduce chemical fertilizer and pesticides. Believe in the 3 R's: recycle, reuse, reduce. So recycling paper, plastic and other materials, reusing of materials, deforestation, cutting down of trees causes erosion. So afforestation should be used. Weeds soak up material in soil. So reducing weed growth helps reduce soil pollution. One of the more common methods of reducing weed growth is covering the soil with numerous layers of wet newspapers or plastic sheet for several weeks before cultivation. This prevents light from reaching the weeds, which kills them. You all can use this as a method to control soil pollution. These are methods to control soil pollution: recycle, reuse, and reduce. The 3 R's, what they are talking about. So students, here we come to an end of lesson pollution, and all the topics under pollution concept, air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution have been spoken about. So this comes to the end of the portion of environmental geography. Thank you, students.